Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex Day trade setups for today. So, starting off with Euro USD as usual, and we haven't really made much progress through the week, but what is really looking interesting is this flag. So, we've been in a downward trend for quite some time, and you can see this was the start of the the start of the downward trend was here back in August, and we've sort of spent most of December, last bit of November and December in this holding pattern, broke the upside, broke the downside. Now we're back to the upside, so could be the start of a bigger sort of consolidation pattern, which would be a range something like that. But I suspect we are starting to form a flag. If I look at what the oscillators are doing, I look at what moving averages are doing right now, and if we drill down to the hour, we are waiting for some catalyst at the moment. So yesterday we basically did nothing. Oscillators are sort of in a bearish position, or heading towards a bearish position, should I rather say. So it's still a sit and hand scenario for me. And I think there is a little bit of structure here that we need to pay attention to. So that, remember what we said yesterday, that looked like a flat top triangle. And if you look at the other side of it, it looks like a wedge. So we need one of those patterns to give. Yesterday, the bottom of this triangle did give way, but we are now sort of back on the triangle's trend line at the moment. So for me, it's a clear sit on hands. Just adjusting that slightly. It does look like a break. We want to come back and test this area. So if we can test this area properly at 114.171, there may be very well a merit to start looking for a bigger move to the upside and pretty much a break above this high and reverse the downward trend that we've been in. But for now, that is sit on hands until we get the catalyst. And we do have CPI data coming out on Thursday, so that may actually be what we need to wait for. Moving on to US dollar, Japanese yen. Pretty much a similar picture, complete confusion at the moment. Oscillators are grouped to the upside. I just want to use these levels. They're not really doing much for us at the moment. There is a pretty good flat bottom triangle you can see there. And same kind of setup, broke below it and broke above it. And that's the same kind of setup we just seen on the Euro USD. So this could be a double bottom. This is the double bottom neckline. We have tested it sort of this week. Or alternatively, it could be a head and shoulders, or alternatively, it could sort of be some kind of a consolidation for another move down. So really 50-50 at the moment with this pair. And logic says that we should be looking at this area here, where we are now, to see if we can get a move to the upside. We do have a bit of a gap there, so that would be the most logical one. Your stop area is the swing low of yesterday. So if the market opens and we can sort of get some stability here, there's probably a good good opportunity for a long, at least to close the gap. And your stop is below the swing low of yesterday, and that is around 115.231. Moving on to the pound and looking at British pound, Japanese yen. We started the week off with a retest of some structure to the downside. Bounced off it quite nicely, broken up, and we're waiting for the next retest, which is still hovering around here at 156.186. So get onto the hour, and you can see we sort of broke above it. We've tried to find support, broke below it, so that hasn't been tested properly in my view. So I would prefer to see a retest of this. The question is whether that is going to materialize or not. And if you look to the left, there's a lot of sort of confusion that happened in this area in the past. So that's between 156 and 471. But 156.471 and 156.186. So 156.186 is still the area I want tested. This isn't a decent test that we got yesterday. Looking for this here. If we can start forming a base there, it's a good opportunity to buy into this and for a move to the upside. Lastly, Euro British Pound. Now remember, this one has been in a downward trend for how many, pretty much all of last year. You can see a well-structured downtrend. Then we started breaking above the moving averages, and we never really held the break above the moving averages, kept moving down, kept making new lows. The question that we need to ask ourselves is that same pattern repeating, or is this a situation of the bottom has been found. This sort of rally last week was fairly strong, but I've seen that in the past and it hasn't really played out. So we need to see the pullback onto structure, and at the moment it does look like we have pulled back onto 084178, which is the closest bit of structure that we do have. But at the moment you can see we pulled back onto it, we bounced up, which basically rejected this previous level. Now that is, our two lines in the sand already. Well, they're still the same as what I had them yesterday. So we need a break and sort of to hold 084389, or alternatively, and that's for remove the upside, or alternatively we need to get below 084178 for remove the downside. So looking at the oscillators, they're not offering much, and they're not offering much indication at all. I think they're slightly looking towards a crossover and a moves back to the downside, but it could just be that we're going to form a range here. So this is also still sit on hands. It was Monday and Tuesday sit on hands. We're looking for structure to form. There's probably a little scalp that was available here, but the way that we've sort of we're consolidating, we're going smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. There's going to be some kind of a breakout. There is something brewing on the forex markets, but we just need to be patient for it and wait for the retests. Very difficult to get in on these explosive moves when there's no retest. But anyway, stick to the rules and you'll keep making money. I suppose that's what it boils down to. Anyway, that's it from me this morning. Really sitting on hands on forex, waiting for these levels to break. If we start getting sort of patterns that are breaking, then we're going to start looking for opportunities to get into the market. But at the moment, it is still sit quietly and wait to see what is going to transpire. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.